Hey everyone, welcome to Impact Marketer. Today's guest is a serial entrepreneur, speaker, and investor. His three current ventures include SnapClean, an app connecting home cleaners to customers, Y Media, a results-driven marketing automation agency, Automate Online, an active campaign automation agency. Growing a local service business to 0 to 10,000 per month in revenue in 3 months. Also being among the top 40 active campaign partners in the world. Recently being flown out to New York City to speak on stage for active campaign, and attributing his success to finally being able to remain level-headed, whether that be during the good times or the bad times. He's mastered the state of controlling his emotions to influence his winning outcomes, and now focuses all his effort to help business owners make small adjustments that garner massive results. Please help me in welcoming Yujin Yeoh.
How you going, Ronnie?
What's going on, man? Happy to have you on.
Thanks, man. It's good to catch up again after meeting up in New York.
Yeah. Cool, man. So, on today's episode of Talk of the Day, we're going to be talking about mindset. Yep. Super happy to have you on, man. So, awesome. Yeah, let's dive in. First question, can you walk me through the first time you realized that you were able to control your states?
I guess it's pretty recently. Consciously, I was, able to control my state. I mean, before I probably had let my emotions kind of take control of me, essentially. I think what really helped me manage it was doing a course in something called NLP, neuro linguistic programming. So this allows me to quickly change my state. If something bad happens, then you can just kind of take your mind off it. So
can you?
I'd say that's like less than 6 months, essentially. Like being consciously able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Can you define state for me?
State would be, I guess, just pretty much how I feel at that point in time. Put it simply.
Got it. Yeah. Cool, man. And can you walk me through an example of you actually doing this in practice?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, like one example would be, when I was going on stage in New York. Well, actually, and that's, I can give you two. So one would be in New York. So obviously there's a sense of a bit of nervousness. So then what I would use a technique, it's called anchoring. So I would tap a part of my body, which would be my knuckle, so my pinky knuckle. And then what that is I've had like an emotion that's attached to that point on my body. So if I tap that, it like helps me get rid of like, nervousness, anxiety, and then it would just get like, feel more confident and actually like happiness. And actually like another recent event as well was like, I'm not really a big fan of like theme park rides. So I was just getting nervous there. And I could like feel myself getting fidgety and stuff. And then like I think I was caught on video as well because a person was like recording because they wanted to see how funny it would be for me to react. And they could see like my body was like hunched over. I was like kind of closed off a bit. And the moment I did that, kind of just opened up and just like relaxed a little bit. So yeah, it's a bit of a
got it. And it was the
example.
Same knuckle anchor point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool, man. So yeah. I've had some experience with NLP, like getting myself into a state and then tapping or doing whatever trigger to kind of anchor that.
Yeah.
So, you repeat this practice over and over again, and so that you can use it when you're not in that same place. How successful is it though for you when you actually tap that? Like you hit the trigger.
It's like it works every time almost. Like I can feel myself just like wanting to laugh pretty much. So like, yeah, the point that the emotion that triggered is confidence and like laughter. So essentially what we did was we went back to when I did the procedure, I went back in time, we were just like laughing, like on the floor laughing kind of thing. And then the brain goes back to that point in time to bring up those emotions again. And I can feel myself like smiling and stuff when I press that point.
And did you have someone actually help you set that trigger?
Yeah, so I actually did a course on NLP over 5 days, and we set the triggers for each other essentially.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Because I tried setting it myself, which is a little harder, I think.
Yeah, no, you need someone to do it for you. It's really good because it's like obviously you have to concentrate on going back to that point in time in your life to bring up those emotions, and then the other person is concentrating on like holding that point to create the anchor.
Fascinating. Cool, man. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, really effective. I mean, I wish I had learned it sooner, because especially like being new to business earlier on, like a few years ago, there's like just times where, in the cleaning business, like people don't show up to jobs and stuff like that. Like I remember that type of thing would just like make me like, you can feel all the cortisol coming into your body, and then yeah, just not a good feeling. And then it's harder to make decisions as well, because I mean, I believe your IQ halves the moment you feel stress. So you're just making more poorer decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, and cortisol actually affects your memory recall. This is not
There you
a
go.
good combination.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so that's a great point. So, before you understood NLP, how did you get past those stress points before?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't really have a proper technique on how to deal with it. I just kind of, my mantra was just pretty much like just trying to make sure I didn't get too high on the times when something good happens, and not getting too low when something bad happens. Because I remember at the start, I'd be like, oh, we grew to this amount of revenue. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is so awesome. I'd be like pumped, like, and then obviously when something bad happens, then I would get really down. So I'd be like, okay, cool, So I guess my mindset was pretty much like, if something bad happens, it's like, something good's going to come around soon. But then also if something good happens, okay, cool, let's not get too high, because, next moment, we might lose a contract or something. So that's like, just keep level headed, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's a huge issue that all business owners face when they start out.
Yeah, especially like that first, that moment when you get your first sale as well. Like that's a huge high as well, because you just don't believe it will happen. And then that moment, whatever type of event that is, if it's a Shopify store, so it's that first like Stripe payment, or whatever that case may be, or like if you're a marketing agent, that first lead you generate for the client, like that moment, that high, you're like, oh man, this might work.
Yeah. So did you have a good moment that had a bad moment right afterwards that really set this principle in place for you?
I can't really remember the exact moment, but I just know there was a lot of moments like that at the start. Yeah. I remember it'd be like, because I had new bookings and stuff coming through Slack, and it'd be like, oh, new booking. I'd be like, yeah, sweet. And then it'll be like, next moment it'd be like someone texts me or emails me saying, oh, someone hasn't shown up to a job, and it'd be like, come on.
Yeah. Got it, man.
So
and when did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I'm not really sure. I think it just kind of just came to me. I mean, in school I used to sell soft drinks, and I think I just kind of always wanted to sell stuff. And so during high school, I used to buy soft drinks from the grocery store and take it to school. And then I would sell other stuff, like I would sell Gatorade when we had basketball games. And then when we went to high school, there was a point in time where everyone was really into Beats by Dre. So were you part of that?
Yeah, I had a pair. They broke on me. Terrible quality.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, okay, cool. These things are like $200 or like $300-$400. So I ended up finding like stuff from China that look exactly the same. And I was like, for a quarter of the price, I'll try it out. And then people started asking me about it, so then I started reselling those for a bit. So getting that market of rep Beats, essentially.
Nice. Now, you did tell them they're replicates, right?
Yeah, exactly. I told them like they're reps.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, okay, look, they're reps, but you go to the store and it'd be like, you can compare it if you want.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So yeah, and then that's kind of the path. I mean, and then there was a period of time, I think, during university or college for you guys, that I kind of lost my way. Maybe I kind of just got really focused on the whole study, find a graduate job and stuff. And then it's more recently, I think towards the end of my degree, I was like, I don't know if this is what I really want to do. So I kind of did a bit of different stuff. So I went into real estate, worked in that for a bit, and then I guess that's an area I'll probably revisit later down the track. So as the businesses grow, that's probably where the income will kind of go. But then, obviously led back to business.
So what changed your mindset and told you to focus on school during that beginning time?
I'd say it's probably more external factors, like society. I mean, not so much my parents. I mean, my parents haven't really pushed me to go to uni. I think, they're probably happy that I went, but they weren't like, you must go. So I think it's more just, you see what everyone else is doing, and also it's like society is telling you, okay, this is the way forward. This is the
Mm-hmm.
So like, and then probably a circle as well. I mean, obviously people I hung out with a lot. Everyone was like, kind of, yeah, I'm going to graduate to be an accountant or a lawyer, and I'm going to apply for grad jobs at this firm or something like that. So I think the rule of like who you hang out with the most really affects that. And obviously, more recently, the people I hang out with is completely different. Like, I hang out with guys like you, Eric, people in Australia, like a few other guys like Moses and stuff. Like they're doing stuff that kind of what I want to do. So that really shifts what you're trying to do.
Now, what's the right word? Like, did you completely separate yourself from your previous friends, or is it just you spend less time with them? and what was that process like? Whatever you did, like, did you have the conversation with them?
No, I mean, I think it was just pretty much like you just slowly start to hang out with people less, right? Like there's usually social gatherings, like birthdays and weddings and things like that, and you chat and kind of some people be like, okay, what are you doing? And obviously you tell them, and then if they're not interested, then it's like you don't really push. I mean, initially I probably was pushing too much. I was like just telling them what I was doing and kind of like looking for validation.
Yeah.
And obviously that pushes people away more. So I was like, and then obviously at a certain point I was like, okay, look, that's cool. I'll just share when needed, and then only share like in my own channel. So like, in for example, my personal brand or something like that. And if they're interested or whatever, then they'll reach out to personally. And I've had a few people like that as well, where they've kind of gone, oh, I've been seeing what you're doing, and I've been seeing that you've been going to different places and different events, and I've been doing this for a few years. I'm not sure this is what I want to do. What should I do? Kind of thing. So
it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What's been like one of the biggest adversities you faced?
In terms of
business, life, as of recently, these past couple of years? Or it can even be longer than these past couple of years. Just like, your journey to get here where you are now. What's been your biggest adversity?
It's a tough one. I know I can't really think of a really big event. I think it's just mainly just a lot of small, like humps to get over. I mean, there was times earlier on where it's like, do I need to give this all up and go back to the original plan A, which was to go back to the graduate job road, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just that there was just like a breakthrough at some point, but just like things just kind of worked. But I can't really point to a specific event.
No, that makes me actually very happy to hear, because that is telling of your mindset of being like centered the entire time. So that's why you don't feel like you've had a major event when you probably have if you put someone else in your shoes.
So I mean, there's always I can think of like, I mean, maybe a big event, like a huge adversity would be like when my mom got sick. So she found out she had a tumor behind her eye. So that was probably pretty tough for me and probably for the family as well. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably the biggest one.
Got it, man. That's insane. And how long have you been on this entrepreneurial journey?
I'd say it's been about like good 3-4 years or so.
Okay.
It's kind of started, yeah. So obviously still kind of fresh.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's awesome, because that's my age, 24. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. A little foresight into the future.
Well, it's good. You're starting earlier than I am, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've been starting I've been doing this for since I was 19. It's just been a little rocky.
Yeah, there you go.
But cool, man. I want to be respectful of your time. So thanks so much.
No, that's cool. It's all good.
This episode.
Awesome. Thanks, Ronnie.